Yo, what's going on, guys? This is your boy Otaku, having coming at you with another manga chapter review. Today, I'll be reviewing chapter 52 of the Black Clover series, and this chapter threw me off, I've got to say, because I didn't notice the dudes before, but I wasn't expecting them to all be captains of the Magic Knights, but I should have known this from previous chapters. I just didn't expect it, so it kind of threw me off right there at the beginning. And I was like, hell yeah, we're getting into this. It's getting pretty good. And then throughout the rest of the chapter, they actually continued on with the fights, which I expected a little bit, but I figured that they would, just get out of there pretty quickly. It could happen within the next couple chapters, but I seriously doubt it. Actually, looks like they're going to fight now. That's a good way to wrap up around the 50th chapter mark. Good way to wrap up the first season, which is probably what it's going to be when it comes out to the anime. So I'm really excited about that, and we actually got to see a little bit of each of their powers and what all they can do. For instance, Jack the Ripper, he can slice anything and he boasts about it. Very similar to Zoro from One Piece, except this guy uses magic and he can slice mountains in half. Not to say that Zoro can't, but this dude's already shown it. Just talking and messing around, he's like, didn't he just nonchalantly slice a mountain in half? That's what one guy said in the manga. So he basically nonchalantly sliced a mountain in half, and he boasts about his ability to cut anything, and he even threatens to kill Yami at one point. But then he laughs it off. He's like, "You actually think I would kill you? If I would kill you, it would definitely be when you're at your best, because I could not take you at not that I could not take you. I wouldn't want to take you at a lesser form because it just wouldn't be as much of a challenge to me." And then we got to see Charlotte Rosary. We've seen her several times already. We haven't seen much about her, but we've seen her several times. She's the captain of the all-female Magic Knights Guild, I believe. I forget the exact name of it, but her name is Charlotte Rosary. Charlotte Rosary is very, very interesting because not many times these days do you actually see a character who uses wood-based magic, because those are pretty much gone by this point. There was one really old anime where you actually got to see somebody using wood-based magic, and with the exclusion of Naruto, there's a couple people in Naruto that actually use wind-based magic, or not wind, wood, sorry. And then we have Nozel. Nozel uses his mercury-based magic, and we got to see some of his attacks and the fact that he didn't even care about what was going on with the enemies. He was more or less interested in Yami, so he tries to attack Yami by faking an attack on Fana the Hateful, which we actually got the pairings in this chapter of who's going to fight who. We had Fauna versus Nozel, Rosary versus the Liar, and Jack the Ripper versus Vet. Vet is pretty much like the UP I explained earlier from Hunter x Hunter, and Liar is basically Jalal, but not really as serious as Jalal. He looks more or less like kind of a pussy version of Jalal, in my opinion. But we actually got to see a whole lot of information on how they actually feel towards the Magic Knight captains in the kingdom. They're actually loved by the mana according to light, and that's why it makes no sense for Asta to have that book, and why they need to get that book back from Asta, or the grimoire back from Asta. Now, moving along, we actually see that, like I said, Nozel actually attacks Yami, and Yami looks back at Finral and is like, "You can use your teleport magic at least once already, right?" So he's obviously joking at the same time. He's scared of he's kind of he doesn't want to get hit by that, so he recognizes Nozel's power. But I've messed up saying Finral and Luck. I've mixed the two up and no one's caught me in the past 3 or 4 chapters. So if you ever see me doing that, please comment and be like, "Yo, dude, dumbass, that's Luck, not Finral," or "That's Finral, not Luck," because they look very similar to me at this point. But one of the things that actually caught my eye was Rosary, or Charlotte Rosary, has an affection for Yami, but she obviously doesn't want to say it. Yami makes a joke about her being single, and she's like, "Well, the only person I need is the battlefield." So she is very interested in her work, but she's also interested in Yami. But she said she can't say that because of what other people would think about her after she just came out with a big announcement saying she doesn't need a man. But it's gonna be really interesting to see how the fight goes out, because at the end of the chapter we left off with Yami actually charging in nonchalantly, just rushing in on Light, after Light provoked him, and he's like, I knew you would do that, so now you're screwed, basically. And Nozel and them basically just thought Yami was screwed too. Even Finral basically looked at Yami and was like, "Oh shit, why'd you do that, Captain?" And here comes Asta. Asta rushes in to attack Light, and that's where we left the chapter off. Nobody else noticed him though, because he has no mana, and not even any of the captains noticed him. None of the enemy noticed him. Finral didn't notice him. No one there noticed him. The only one that knew that he was going to be capable of able to do that is Finral, or not Finral, but is Captain Yami. And Light was really surprised about that, and Captain Yami's like, that's why I was able to put all my faith into him. So he gave Asta a chance to really show out and get the recognition of all the Magic Knight captains. And that's going to go really far towards his goal of becoming the Sorcery Emperor and being respected by everyone there, especially since he was able to do it without them actually sensing him at all. So he's he's gonna get a lot of recognition for that, is the point I'm trying to get it across here. And he's pretty much definitely, like I've been talking about previously, gonna get probably multiple stars for this one mission right here. Not only because of what he did, but because of the recognition he's going to be gaining from all of the Magic Knight captains if this attack does go through successfully, and he does manage to either kill Light or at least put him in a terrible state, or a wounded state to where they could capture Light, which most likely is either gonna happen, or gonna happen in the sense that they're gonna take every member, or it's not gonna happen, and Light, at least by itself, will escape. And I'm pretty sure Light has probably formed some kind of alliance with the Diamond Kingdom by now. It's very likely that he has some kind of connections with the with the Diamond Kingdom. Maybe not a direct connection, but after they both have the mutual goal to work together in that sense. But maybe not, because he does say that he likes the Clover Kingdom. He just wants to reform it and put it back to its original glory, where everybody with the magic power was helping all the lesser people, and they weren't looked down upon just because they have so much magical power. But overall, this chapter was absolutely excellent. I've got to give it a 10 out of 10. I loved every bit of it. We got to see a pretty much full chapter of fighting and a full chapter of new people, and a love interest between Yami and Charlotte Rosary, because Yami didn't straight up say like, "Oh, I don't really like that chick," and Finral was obviously very interested in her, so it would stand to reason that Yami is too, and they had kind of like a love type bickering going on. So that's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out as well, and where this whole thing goes. If Asta actually does get not only more stars, but an actual promotion in the area, that, because there's like 6 levels of people that you can be within that kingdom. I don't remember all of them again, like I said before, but he could very well get a promotion off of this mission, and that would be awesome to see. But that's all, guys. 10 out of 10. Peace.